Hey everyone, it's Priscilla from the Stitch Queen Crochet, and today I'm going to be showing you all how to make your very own hexagon cardigan as big or as small as you would like it, how to sew it together in the back and over the shoulders, how to add a cute little border around the body of it, and how to add a border around the sleeves as well. And if you would like even more additions, you can check out my ultimate guide to hexagon cardigan, where you can add a hood, add squares to the back, add pockets, make the sleeves not get any bigger, make this the bottom longer, a bunch of extras, and I'll link that pattern, that written pattern below. But I made a little tiny one for my niece, and I'm going to show you guys how to make one as well. Let's get right into the video. Alright, so what you're going to need to make your hexagon cardigan is you're going to need some yarn and some hooks. If you're going to use a weight 4 yarn, I would suggest you use a 6mm hook so you get a nice drape. You can use whatever you want to use to make this cardigan. Today I'm going to use a lightweight 3 yarn. I'm making it for a small child, so I wanted the holes to not be as big. So I am using KC Essential Cotton, love this stuff, in the colorway Joshua Tree. And if I run out of yarn, which I'm probably going to run out of yarn, well, the first half's already done, I'm going to add in some Lion Brand Kobo and bamboo. It's 50% for whatever, percent bamboo, 49 and 51%. This is a colorway beige. I think it matches it pretty nicely. And I'm going to be using a 5mm hook because I'm using a lightweight 3 yarn. And for the border or ribbing, I'm going to use a 4.25mm crochet hook. All right, so the stitches that you will need to know for this is a slip knot, a slip stitch, a chain, and a double crochet. And that's literally it. Now for the border, you can learn how to do a single crochet and how to crochet into the back loop. That's important for doing the ribbing. But yeah, if you don't know how to do any of those things, go to the description of this video and I will link tutorials for each one so you know exactly how to do them. And this is kind of a beginner tutorial, but knowing how to crochet helps when you want to start doing this hexagon. I would say that it's more of an advanced beginner, not really beginner, that you like to learn really fast. And if so, good for you. Okay, so we're gonna start. Enough talking. I love to talk. Okay, so we're gonna start off with a slip knot and we're gonna put it on our hook. Once again, everything is gonna be linked below in the description if you wanna know how to do anything. So get a slip knot and put it on your bigger hook, whatever hook you choose to do. All right, there's my slip knot. This is also, we're going to be crocheting in the round, and if you're new to crocheting in the round, I suggest to watch my single crochet circle tutorial if you're new to doing this, so that you can already know how to crochet instead of your magic circle or your chain circle, your chain method, whatever. So we're going to be crocheting in the round for this tutorial. So you're going to chain 6. If you're more comfortable doing the magic circle, you can do that, but I like using the chain ring method instead, which is a lot easier for beginners and for myself. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, chain 6. After you chain 6, you are going to slip stitch into the first chain that you made. Here's the first chain I made. I'm going to slip stitch right into it. And doing that, we formed a circle. We're going to be crocheting into this circle for round 1. All right, round 1. We're going to yarn over and just chain 1. I like chaining 1 loosely in the beginning of all of my rounds. It does not count as a stitch, just a chain 1 to get the round started. And now we're going to be crocheting inside of our circle to do round 1. All right, so we're going to be doing 3 double crochets and chaining 3. We're going to repeat that 6 times to form our hexagon for our first round. So inside of our circle, put it in there in a circle. That's how you crochet into it. Yarn over, pull up 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's your double crochet. Do 3 double crochets, yarn over, put it in your circle, yarn over, pull up 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. All right, so do 3 double crochets inside of your circle. Once again, I have a beginner tutorial for crocheting in the round. Kind of skipping through exactly how to do it. So 3 double crochets inside of your circle and then chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to repeat this 6 times. All right, let's go back into our circle. do 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Feel free to pause to catch up. I do crochet a little fast. 1, 2, 3, and then chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Also, if I'm going too fast, you can use the playback speed in settings to slow me down a little bit. All right, so I did 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet, chain 3. That's twice. We need to do it 4 more times. So let's go back into our circle. In case you're new to crocheting in the round, going into your circle is just like crocheting into a stitch, just inside the circle instead of going into a stitch. That helps your brain kind of process it a little bit better. 3 double crochet, chain 3. Let's do it 3 more times. If you start running out of space to crochet into your circle, just grab your chain ring or your magic circle, whatever you're using, and just slide your double crochets around it a little bit more. You should have more space to crochet into. So let's do some more. 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. We gotta do it 1 more time. So you have 6 of those repeats around our little hexagon. All right, so for round 1, recap, we chain 1 to start the round. We did 1, 2, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3 chains, 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So to end round 1, we're going to slip stitch into the first double crochet that we made of this round. Sorry, I never like grabbing it like that. I like stabbing the hook through. If you're new, grabbing it makes it harder sometimes. Get the pointed part of your hook and just stab it through your stitch. Use your finger to help pull the loops over your hook. That's what I do. A little random tip. So slip stitch into your first double crochet, and that's round 1. Let's jump right into round 2. So round 2, we're going to do a very loose chain to start the round, and into that chain space, the last one that we did of round 1 right here, we're going to do 3 double crochets here. You're going to kind of go backwards a little bit. So I'm yarning over, I'm putting it in this chain space, and I'm doing my double crochet and splitting my yarn at the same time. This yarn's a little bit splitty. I feel like a lot of natural fiber yarns are. All right, 2 more double crochet into it, so we have 3 in total. That's 2. Remember, so I'll go into this chain 3 space, put my hook in there, and 3. So we just did 3 double crochet into that chain 3 space. Now we're going to chain 1. We're going to skip over these next 3 double crochets. We're going to go into this next chain 3 space. So we're in here, we're chaining 1, we're skipping these next, we're going to go into here. And into this next chain 3 space, we're going to do a 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet, chain 1. Let's do it. This next chain 3 space, put my hook in there. One. Oop, got a little knot. 2. And pause if you need to, or slow me down in the playback speed settings of the video if you need to. 1, 2, 3. Double crochet into that chain 3 space. Now chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Into the same chain 3 space, double crochet 3 more times. 1, 2, 3, and then chain 1. So just quick recap. Into this chain 3 space, we did 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet, chain 1. We're going to do the same thing into the rest of our chain 3 spaces until we get back to the first one that we started in. I'll tell you how to do that when we get there. So I'm going to help you out with the next one. So into our next chain 3 space, we're going to we're going to double crochet 3, 1, 2, 3, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, through I can't talk, 3 more double crochets into that same chain 3 space, 1, 2, 3, and then chain 1. So repeat that in the next 3, so next 1, 2, 3 chain 3 spaces, and then I'll catch up with you guys when we get to that first chain 3 space that we did the 3 double crochet in. That's how we're going to end round 2. But for the next 3 chain 3 spaces, do the 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet, chain 1. All right, and I'll catch up with you guys when you get to the last chain 3 space that has those only 3 double crochet, basically where we started at. So keep going to here. When you get to here, I'll catch up with you guys. Okay, so if you are here with me, pause if you're not here yet. We just did 3 double crochet, chain 1, and now we are here where we started. Here's where we started the round. Now, if you're a beginner, you can use a stitch marker to mark your first double crochet so you don't accidentally go over it and forget where you are. So here's where we started with the chain 3 in there. So to complete this chain 3 space, it needs to be like all the others. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into this chain 3 space and we're going to do 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And since it already has our last 3 double crochet, chain 1, that's it. We just got to slip stitch to the first double crochet that we made right here, slip stitch into that, and that is the end of round 2. Now, what I'm going to tell you guys now is how you are going to do the rest of the cardigan, but I will show you how to do it on the next round. I love when we can find repeats and patterns. So I'm going to explain it to you and I'm going to show you how to do it. So in every single chain 3 space, from now until you get to the length and the width that you want of your cardigan, into every chain 3 space, you're going to do 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet, chain 1. And into every single chain 1 space, you're going to do 3 double crochet, chain 1. Let's do it. So, but we're going to start all the rounds the same. Into that first chain 3 space that we did, the last one we did of the last round, do a loose chain 1, go into that chain 3 space, and do 3 double crochet. 1, 2, I'm splitting this yarn so bad, 3, and then chain 1. So we're going to start off every round the same. Do double crochet, chain 1. So you're now like, okay, what's next? Oh, we have a chain 1 space. We're never going to crochet into these double crochets. We're always going to be going into the chain spaces. So we have a chain 1 next. So what are we going to do into it? We're going to do a 3 double crochet, chain 1. Once again, it's going to go like right into it. It's like you're going into a stitch, but instead you're going into a space. Through 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and that same, and you're going to chain 1. Once again, you can pause if you need to. All right, so next we have a chain 3 space. So what are we going to do in that chain 3 space? 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet, chain 1. Let's do it together. Go into the next chain 3 space, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 more double crochet in the same chain 3 space, 1, 2, 3, and then chain 1. All right, so what's next? Sorry if you guys hear my husband laughing in the background. I usually don't record when he's home. He's home, he's laughing. You might hear him laughing in the background. I apologize. So he's on the phone. We're gonna go into our next chain 1 space. What are we gonna do in there? Yes, we're gonna do 3 double crochet, chain 1. So here's our next chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. All right, next we have a chain 3 space. So we're gonna do the same thing that we did in other ones. We're gonna do 3 double crochet inside of it. 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, I hear him laughing. Hopefully y'all don't hear him laughing. He's laughing. And he said he was gonna be quiet. He's like laughing. Oh my goodness, okay. And then we're gonna do chain 3. 1, 2, 3. If y'all can't hear him laugh, it's gonna be really weird me talking about it, but I can hear him laughing. And then we're gonna do 3 more double crochet. 1, 2, 3. And we're gonna chain 1. So y'all catch the drift. Next we have a chain 1 space. We're gonna do 3 double crochet, chain 1. We're gonna do into the chain 3 space, 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet, chain 1, until you get to the last space where we started at. We just did 3 double crochet. Into that one, you're gonna do 3 double crochet, chain 3, slip stitch. So I'll catch up with you guys when you get to the end of your round. So just remember the pattern. If you forget the pattern, rewind the video, watch it again, what you do in each space. I'll catch up with you guys when we get to the end of round 1, 2, 3. And I'll show y'all how to fold your cardigan so that it looks correct, because that can be confusing sometimes. All right, I'll see you guys when we get here. All right, I just talked to my husband, told him that he was too loud. In a nice way. He didn't know I could hear him. He was like, I came all the way back in the room so you wouldn't hear me. Anyway, it was funny. Okay, so here we are at the last chain 3 space, which is actually where we started. So the first, the last, whatever you want to call it. We only have 3 double crochet in here. So what do we need to complete this chain 3 space? Correct. We need 3 double crochet in the last chain 3 space, and a chain 3, 3 double crochet in it, chain 3, and just like the last round, we're going to slip stitch to the first double crochet that we made. I don't know how did I even work? It worked. Okay, to complete round 1, 2, 3. So real quick, I'm going to show you guys how to fold it, if I can fold it right. So okay, I got it. Okay, making sure I could do it before I showed you guys. What you're gonna do is you're gonna grab opposite sides of your hexagon. Actually, we're gonna turn it backwards. So look at the wrong side of your work, the back of it. Back. So you're gonna get opposite sides of your hexagon and go like this. And did I do that right? Hold on. I did. My thing's just a little lopsided until I make it longer. Here we have the body and we have the arm. Once you keep going, it'll end up looking more like this other side that I have. So straightening out a little bit like this. Once you keep going around and around and around and around. All right, so get the opposite end, fold it over. Body, arm, whatever side you want it to be. So what you're going to do is you're going to keep repeating round 3 until you get to the size, the length, the width that you want. Once again, I probably mentioned it before this video, is just if you want the full tutorial written with pictures and helpful things and things like that, I have a full pattern with how to do all the extras, how to make the sleeves stop growing, how to make the length longer or just the sleeves longer, how to add a hood, how to add buttons, pockets. All that is in my written tutorial. I've gotten great feedback on it. So if you want that, I'll link it below. All right, so let us continue on. So round 4 and beyond, it's going to be like round 3. Whenever you get to a chain 3 space, you're going to do your chain 3 space stuff, which is 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet. Except when you start, you're going to start with 3 double crochet. You're going to move on to the chain 1 space, just like we do every single row. And in the chain 3 space, you're going to do 3 double crochet, chain 1. Next one is also a chain 1 space, 3 double crochet, chain 1. Get to your chain 3 space, 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet, chain 1. Same thing all the way around, just like round 3, except now for every round you're going to be adding on more and more chain 1 spaces in between your chain 3 spaces. So just make sure you got it before I let you guys go. We move on to the next part. You're going to start off your round with a loose chain 1, go into that chain 3 space, do 3 double crochet, chain 1. What's next? Oh look, a chain 1 space. We're going to do 3 double crochet into it, and we're going to chain 1. What's next? Oh, chain 1 space. You 3 double crochet into it. I know I'm like a broken record. I want to make sure that y'all got it down. Chain 1. And okay, what's next? A chain 3 space. 3 double crochet. Chain 3. 3 double crochet. And then chain 1. All right, y'all got it? And when you do all that all the way around, when you get to your first one that you only put 3 in, 3 double crochet, chain 3, slip stitch. All right, so y'all continue doing that repeat round over and over and over again until you get to the size that you want. All right, and when you guys get there, you can go ahead and fasten off, and we're going to go on to the next portion of our pattern. If you hear my husband talking behind me, I'm so sorry. So in my stash, I had more yarn. I was able to finish the second half. So basically, after you make one, fasten off your work. I'll show you how to do that in a second, and make a second one of the same amount of rounds so that you can make 2. And don't forget how to fold it. You make the hexagon, lay it flat, get 2 opposite sides, fold it over. There you go. Now let's talk about how to fasten off, and then we're gonna sew our 2 sides together. I'll show y'all exactly how I do that. So just cut off your yarn, leaving some inches. You can sew that in later, and then you're gonna yarn over and pull it through. So you fasten off. All right, let's get some yarn so that we can sew our sides together. So I got my darning needle right here, and I'm getting a long piece of yarn, and I'm folding it in half so we have 2 strands together. If you run out of yarn when you're sewing it up, you can always do this again and get more, but I like getting a long amount in the beginning so that I don't have to, hopefully we'll see, do this again. So I got a lot of yarn. Once again, I'm just folding it in half. I'm gonna get some more because I don't like having to do it again. So here we go. I got a nice long amount of yarn. Fold it in half. So here's the end. We're gonna cut it, and then I'm gonna get my darning needle. I'm gonna put the yarn on my needle and hold these 2 together, these 2 ends, and pull until we get the darning needle at the middle of our strand. Now go back to the beginning, 2 strands right here, and just make a knot. It's like you're about to hand sew something together. I leave enough ends to be able to sew it in later. Just like this. All right. Now, how to sew our cardigan. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by sewing the back together, and then we're going to do the sides. All right. Well, the sides and like the top, the shoulders. We're going to start with the back though. I don't know why. We're just going to. Okay. So what I like to do is I like to turn my hexagons inside out. So I'm going to do lay it right side up. Get my 2 ends, fold it, and here's the back, inside out. Same thing with the other one. I'm going to lay it right side up, get my 2 ends, fold it, and now the inside is on the outside. Just like this. Let's back up some more. There we go. So we're going to go just on one side, straight down the back. And here is how I do that. So zoom right back in. Here's the top back of my cardigan. All right, so we have the chains right here. So those ends in later. So I'm gonna start off with the top chain of the back. and put it in a loop, 1 or 2 loops. Zoom in some more. And I'm going to put it in the top of the corresponding top chain loops on the other side of the back of the cardigan. So top chain on the back of the cardigan. And I'm going to pull my yarn through. All right, so after I do that, then I'm going to go the opposite way. So I go in like this. Now I'm going to go like this through the next chain. Now you know that our corners have 3 chains. So we know we're going to be going into 3 chains on both sides. So that was chain 1. Here is the second chain. Got that loop right there. Now the second chain over here. Right here. All right, and then I'm just gonna pull that through. You can sew it up however you want to. I started doing it this way so that it's nice and flat on the back. I don't like it poking out like this. Doing it this way keeps it flat. All right, so last chain on this side and the last chain on the other side. And we're gonna pull that through. Also, if you want to add squares to the back, that's also in my written tutorial, my written pattern. If you want to add squares to the back, I show you how to add the squares and sew those on as well. But this one, we're just going to do a nice regular back with no squares. All right, so now that we did that, now we have 3 double crochet on both sides. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So what I like to do is there's going to be like 2 little lumps on the back of the double crochet. So here's 1 double crochet right here. And we have kind of the back loop and this little kind of third loop right here. So I put it in like that. And I go through the same back loop and third loop, back loop and third loop. So here's the top of the stitch. Front loop, back of that V. Front loop, back loop. We're not going to go in the front loop of the stitch. We're going to go in the back loop right here. In the third loop, which is this bump right behind the back loop. Just like that. That's how I crochet the double crochets together. To make sure that your cardigan ends up even and you're not doing it on the wrong one, just make sure you're doing, okay, I did 3 chains, now I gotta do 3 double crochets. Make sure that each double crochet and each chain corresponds, so you don't end up accidentally doing double crochet with the chain and now your back is like this. So just pay attention. So now here's our second double crochet right here. Here's the third loop in the back loop, second double crochet, third loop in the back loop. Go in the opposite direction. I like using 2 strands of yarn so I have this more security. 1 strand will be fine too, but I like this double stranding it and going through 2 loops so it's like really secure. Because I get, a little nervous about that sometimes. Okay, the third double crochet right here. Third loop, back loop. Third right here, back loop and third loop. Boop. All right. Okay. Now we're on to a chain. We have a chain 1 in between these 3 double crochets. So I go through this loop right here and then back loop. So I'll show you real quick. Here's the chain. All right. Here's the V. I turn it. Now we have the back loop and the third loop. Same with this one. Here's the top of the chain. Here's the back loop and the third loop. You're going to continue doing this all the way down the back of your cardigan. Continue doing that and then go into the last 3 chains at the bottom as well. You can make a knot and fasten off. I'll let you guys know when I get there and show you how I make a knot and fasten it off. So just continue going back and forth until you get to the end. Just pay attention. Make sure that your double crochets and chains are lining up. All right, I will see you guys when I get to the bottom. I forgot to mention, every time you go down a little bit, just make sure you give your project like a little pull so it doesn't end up scrunching up from too tight of sewing. So you go down a little bit, do a little pull, make sure it's nice and, relaxed. All right, my crochet kings and queens, we have got to the end of sewing in the back of the cardigan. So I just like to make a little knot, and I'll sew in the ends later so it doesn't come out. Sorry, I did that way too fast. I do a normal little loop, and then I put my yarn around the back like a basic knot. Don't gotta go crazy with it. Keep it simple. This will hold it until we sew those ends in. Let's cut that. And now we can sew in the top, our shoulders. So our cardigan is still inside out. I have not turned it right side out. Just keep it inside out. And now we can go. You can start from the inside to the outside, or just go from the back all the way across, but make sure that you don't sew the front together like this. Make sure you only sew from the tip of the sleeve to the middle, and then don't go across, but just go to the back and go this side, because you want to make sure the front stays open so you can actually put it on. You're going to go across and go like that. So I'll go ahead and get that started with you guys. I'm going to use what's left over. Make another knot if you have some left over. If not, just put some more yarn in your darning needle. I know I'm going to run out, but I don't want to like waste the yarn, so I'm going to use the rest of this. And I'm going to start on my sleeve. Actually, yeah, I'm going to start on my sleeve. So what you can do, if you want to be able to see, you kind of just turn your cardigan and open up that sleeve. Just make it flat like this. You can see it better. All right. So we're going to do the same thing that we did for the back. Going to just put it through that chain on one side and through the chain on the corresponding on the other side. Oops, because my knot wasn't loose and it wasn't tight enough, so we'll just pretend like that went through and stayed in. All right, go to the next chain on this side and the next chain on this side. And the next chain. So we do all 3 chains. And now we're going to start going into the first 3 double crochet. As long as you keep lined up with what you're supposed to be doing, you won't mess up the sewing part. So 1, 2 double crochets, 1 more. I did 3, so I know that I'm going into the chain next. I totally messed up doing the back, by the way. I was off by a stitch, but I made it work because I just get distracted by myself sometimes. All right, so once again, same way that you did the back, just do it here. So I'm going to keep going and doing the sleeve, and then I'm going to catch up with you guys at the middle of the cardigan just to remind you to not sew the front closed. All right, I'll see you guys when we get to the middle of the cardigan. I'll show you how to kind of just go like a whoop and keep going down. All right, guys, we are here at the middle of the cardigan. I just sewed the top of the sleeve, and now we're here, and we're not gonna sew the top together, guys. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna go through that last chain right here, go through a chain, and then go through the chain on the back. As you can see, the space right there, do double crochet, chain. All right, and then as you can see over here, we have 3 chains in the front and 3 double crochets. In the back, we have 1 chain and 3 double crochets. I'm gonna go through the back, through that 1 chain. I'm gonna make sure I can go through the back of it, not the front of it. Here's the chain. Go through the back, and I'm gonna go through that chain right before those 3 double crochets start. So right here. All right, and not split my yarn like I've been splitting it this whole time. Love Casey yarn, but I split it every time. And then we'll go to the double crochet, just like we have been this whole time. The back loop and the 3rd loop, back loop and the 3rd loop. All right, so now when we turn it inside out, it'll be the same. We can open up. Like the front can still be open like this, and your head can still go through it when you put it on. I mean, because like you probably could sew it here, but you'd lose some space. Doing it right here, you still have a nice opening when you put it on. It'll be like this. All right, let's continue on going down the sleeve until you get to the end. Then we'll fasten off or tie off our yarn again. All right, I got to the end and I even had to to add some more yarn in here, you know, the usual. So I did my knot, I fastened that off, and let's turn our work inside out so we can see how it looks. This is turning out so cute. Cannot wait till my little niece gets to wear it. All right. Awesome. So here's how mine's looking so far. Hope yours is looking amazing as well. Comment below what colors you're using. If it's 1 color, 2, 3, what kind of yarn. I'd love to know what y'all are doing in the comments. Okay, so now we are going to learn how to add a border. We're gonna do the sleeves last. We're gonna learn how to add a border. If you wanna learn how to make a hood, that's also in my written pattern. I will not stop promoting it because I love it. I'm so sorry if y'all are like, stop. No, I'm not. It's a great pattern. You can add a hood in there, but now we're going to do a border instead. All right, so we're going to get our yarn and our hook. You can use your smaller hook if you want it. If you want the border to kind of like kind of shrink it, make it like a little bit smaller around the edges, or if you want it to remain the same, you can just use the same exact hook you use to do the rest of it if you don't want it to like shrink at all. But if you want the sleeves to get smaller, we'll do the border around that with a smaller hook and maybe decrease if we want to do that. So okay, let's go to the border. I'm going to go ahead and get the same size hook because I don't want the inside of this to decrease. And I'm going to switch to my line brand Kubu, whatever it is. We're going to use some of this because I think like a nice solid border will make the rest of it pop really nicely. So I'm going to do my border with my right side facing out because I want my single crochet stitches to be facing out as well, like right side facing out. I'm going to show you guys where I'm going to start. So put a slip knot on your hook like so. And then we're going to attach it. So where I'm going to start is I'm going to start, once again, right side facing out at the bottom corner of one of the sides. I'm just going to choose facing it. I'm going to do the left side. So facing the front of my cardigan, I'm going to start here. So I'm going to turn it upside down. And I'm going to attach my yarn to this corner, the middle of the 3 chains in this corner. I'm going to put my hook in. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to slip stitch as I pull it through both loops on my hook to attach my hook to the corner. Now I'm going to chain 1. All right. So in this corner, in the chain space, I'm going to put in my hook and I'm going to do a single crochet, and I'm going to do another single crochet and 1 more single crochet. So you have 3. We're going to end up coming back around and adding another one back here, or 2 more. So that's what we're going to do for that. All right, so we have 3 single crochets in that chain 3 space. We're going to start single crocheting across our cardigan. So I'm going to go into the next double crochet, do a single crochet, next double crochet, single crochet, etc. And also in every single chain space, we're going to do a single crochet as well. You're going to be single crocheting in every single double crochet and in every single chain space until you get to the top of your cardigan. And I'll show you guys how to kind of go around that seam in the back so it looks good. And I will catch up with you guys when we get to right here, the top of our cardigan, the seam. I'll show you how to crochet over it. Right, so I'll meet you guys when we get there. All right, so just so you know where we are, I am at the last 2 double crochets before we start getting to the seam. Here's the bottom of my cardigan, here's the top, right here at the neck. All right, so I just did 3 double crochets before we get to this space and the seam and this side. So into this next chain 3 space, after we do that last 3 double crochet on this side. I'm going to do 3 single crochet into this chain 3 space. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so now we are getting to where it's turning. We have the seam right here and the 2 chain 3 spaces right by the seam. Into the next chain 3 space, I'm going to do 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. Into the seam right here, smack in the middle where we sewed it together in the back, I'm going to do a single crochet right on top of it. Just poke it in there anywhere you want it to go. Into that next chain 3 space on the other side of the seam, I'm going to do 3 single crochet inside of it. Which again, pause if you need to. And then here's the seam where I sewed the sleeve together. We're not going to that. We're going to go into the next chain 3 space and do 3 single crochets. 2, 3. And then we're going to start going back down the other side of the cardigan. So this is one of the front flaps. By continuing to single crochet into each double crochet and do a single crochet into every chain 1 space. So if we look at it, here we have, back up so y'all can kind of see where we are. Here's the top. Then we got here. In the chain 3 space, 2 single crochets, 3 single in the next chain 3 space, 1 single crochet right there in that seam, do a single crochet in the next chain 3 space, 3 in the next chain 3 space, and then we're going down, back down the side. So we just make a nice little U. I did a lot of extra single crochets here so that it goes around your neck nice and comfortably when you put it on. That's why I did a lot of extra ones right here. I'm going to meet up with you guys next. We go down into this corner, we'll meet up here, and then I'll show you guys how to do that next little turn on the front flap of the cardigan. All right, so here we are down at this corner right here in the front flap, and we're going to single crochet 5 into it. All right, now that we've done that horribly, hold on, my yarn's splitting. Kobo yarn is great, but man, it splits. All right, and then we're just going to continue around until we get to the back seam right here. So just continue doing your single crochets into the doubles and the singles, and I'll meet up with you guys here at the back seam. All right, so now we're at the back seam where we sewed it together, and we have 2 chain spaces right in between, right outside of the seam. So into this first chain space, after you do your last 3 double crochet, here's the seam, chain space, go into it and do 2 single crochets. Into that seam, poke anywhere you want with your hook and do 1. Into the next chain space, do 2 single crochets. All right, here's the back. How's that look? I think it looks good. All right, let's continue on doing our singles into our double crochets and chain 1 spaces until we get back to where we started. Now you might hear my husband on speakerphone, so you might hear someone talking on the phone. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here we are where we started. We only put 3 single crochet into our first chain space. So now we're going to add 2 more in that same chain space where we started, and then we're going to slip stitch. Sorry, it's not focusing. We're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet that we made. Stab it in there, yarn over, pull through everything, slip stitch. I split my yarn again. Keep splitting this yarn. It's so pretty, but man, it splits. Okay, let's take a look what we have so far. Now this is where you can choose if you want to continue doing more of the border. I'll show you how to add more borders, a bigger border if you want to. But honestly, I think I made a good choice using this pretty beige yarn. So here it is. Cute little border. So if you want to add more, all you're going to do is you're going to go around again, but in each corner, only in these 2 corners. You don't really need to increase up here anymore. So if you want to add another row of the border, you just slip stitch into the first single crochet you made, which is the middle single crochet, because you have 5 in this chain 3 space. The middle one is the 3rd one. you just slip stitch into that single crochet. You're going to do 3 singles into it. 1, 2, 3. Into that first single, which is the middle of the 5. Right there, I put 3. And then I'm just going to single crochet around into every single stitch until I get to the other front side right here. So here we are at the other front part of the flap of the cardigan. We did the 5 single crochet into that chain 3 space. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right here is a middle one, 1, 2, 3. And into that one, we're going to do the 3 single crochets just to increase on this corner. So, oh my gosh, my husband is just talking louder and louder. I'm so sorry. I can never record while he's home on the phone ever again. Like, what the heck? I told him he was too loud. He's still loud. I love him so much, but sir, why is he on speaker now? Anyway, that's how you do the increase in that middle one. Okay, now I'm going to keep single crocheting around until I get back to the beginning. I'm going to slip stitch into that single crochet. Now, if you want to keep adding more rounds of the border, just know that in the middle of the 3 single crochet that you did on the front flap corners of your cardigan, that is where you're going to do 3 single crochet into a chain 1. I just slip stitched to end my second round, and I'm going into that middle single crochet, the 1, 2, 3. Here's a middle one, and I'm going to do 3 single crochet into it. And I'm just going to crochet around like usual. When I get over here, I'm going to do the same thing. Here's a 3 single crochet in the middle one. I'm going to do 3 single crochet. Just keep doing that, crocheting around as many rounds as you would like, and that's how you do the border. I'll show y'all when that's done, and then we're going to do the sleeves, and then we'll be done, y'all. We're going to go right to the sleeves now. I fastened off, and the border is super cute, but now we're going to go to the sleeves. So for the sleeves, I am going to use, I think I accidentally used this doing the border, so oops, I'm going to use my smaller hook now. I'm going to use a 4.25 because I'm going to decrease around the sleeves to make them a little bit smaller so they can fit around my niece's wrist. So once again, do a slip knot, and you're going to put it on your hook. So we're going to start off by attaching it right to the middle of that seam that we did to sew the top of the shoulders together. So I'm going to just put my hook anywhere in the middle of that seam, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2 to start with a single crochet. Now it's right next to it is a chain space. So into that chain space, we're going to do 1 single crochet. So on this round of your sleeves, you can decrease if you would like to around to make it smaller. I'm going to end up wanting this sleeve to be half the size. So I'm going to do single crochet 2 together when I go around. But for the first round, I'm just going to do single crochets around the whole thing, just so that I can have just the first round be normal as I'm attaching this new color on. And then I'll decrease after this first round. So after we go into that seam and the chain space next to it, you're just going to single crochet into every double crochet and into every chain 1 space around. I'll catch up with you guys when we get to the end of the round to that chain space that's also on the other side of that seam. All right, so here we are where we started. Also, don't be like me, sew in your ends as you go. I'm horrible at that. So here we are with this next chain space next to our seam. So I'm just going to do 1 single crochet into that chain space. And if I have a lot of space, so I might just end up just doing 2 in here because I have a lot of space in here. I'm just going to do 2 in there. I'm going to feel it out. That looks better. And then I'm going to slip stitch into the first single that we made of the round. And that is round 1. I think I pulled through too many loops of the sleeve. There we go. So now I'm going to decrease around so that it gets smaller. So I'm literally going to chain 1. Now you can do whatever you want decrease wise, but I just know that I want it to be half the size. So therefore I'm going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch. Now in my written pattern, I have how to do the ribbing, which I think is a really good idea, but you can just do single crochet around, or if you know how to rib yourself, You can also just add ribbing yourself around the end of the sleeves. So I'm going to do 2 single crochet together all the way around. Then make sure that it's stretchy so that she can still put her hand through it. And I'll catch up with you guys at the end of this round. I'm pretty sure she'll be able to put her hand through this because I can almost put mine through still. So I'm going to do 1 more round of single crochet. You can make your sleeve basically as long as you want in this border, or you can just, you don't even have to decrease. You can also just single crochet around and keep the sleeves big if you would like. So I think that 3 single crochet rows was perfect. I just cut my yarn, pulled it through. I'll sew in my ends in a bit, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you want to check out more tutorials by me, check out one of these videos next. I also do vlogs. If you want to go on the wild side, check out my little crochet vlogs. I'll post my latest one over here as well. But yeah, just make sure that you comment and like if you enjoyed this video. All of that helps so much. It pushes my tutorial up more in the algorithm. Thank y'all so much for watching. Have an awesome day, my crochet kings and queens, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.